Hey guys, it's Shadow, and I play Mark Campbell. If you like listening to our games, consider supporting us on Patreon. More patrons directly increase the quality and quantity of the games that we play. Go to patreon.com/critfail to support us. Thanks!
You are in the tunnel.
So we're looking for what? A gravitron?
What a weird place to have an entry.
It's very DARPA-like. It suits them to have like a shady underground entrance.
You can see that it is hot and humid within. A lot of the heat you think is coming from a large cable that is on the floor, possibly the power cable that is connecting to the echo unit. There is some scratching and squeaks of rats. There is cobwebs.
Oh, looks like this hasn't been cleaned in a while.
About a month. Specifically.
All right, dweebs, who's first?
First where?
To walk down that way.
Not me.
You do have the flashlight, though.
Yeah, but... Fine.
Where's your sense of adventure, man?
Up there, where it's light. And Lizzie will continue on down the tunnel with the flashlight.
Girls first. Soup, I think you're next.
Alright.
And of course, Mark.
Soup and Mark?
Wait, did you change my nickname?
To Mark. Mark, your nickname is now Mark.
To something
Wayne's
other
now
than
And
Soup?
Wayne is also now Kieran.
Wayne is Wayne.
Yeah. No, Wayne is also Mark.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Mark's nickname is Soup, but Wayne's nickname
We
is
did
Mark.
that to avoid confusion.
It's just a little confusing.
Yeah.
And Dillon's nickname is apparently Rude and Weird.
Rude and weird. And I think it's Waynster next.
At the end of about 400 meters of the corridor, because there's cobwebs that she's got to, and there's spiders in the middle of those cobwebs at times, and the odd rat that will be getting out of your
Perfect.
way. The light is in little lights on the bottom. They're not big overhead ones. They're like at the cinema. But
Alongside,
better.
yeah, okay.
Like they're industrial, not cinema ones. But it's sort of like they're little lights along there to show the path. They're not really big illuminating ones like a neon overhead.
So Lizzie reluctantly takes the lead walking down the tunnel as she has the flashlight, stopping every once in a while to brush cobwebs away and then kind of shake them off her hand in disgust. And as everybody walks further down the tunnel, there is a gradually louder sound of rushing water. And she'll sort of turn back to Mark and say, "Well, we found your water."
I guess so.
And continuing on until suddenly she's going to freeze in the middle of the hallway and turn the flashlight down facing the ground and lower her voice a lot more than she was before and say, "Well, I found the security robots."
Are they just up ahead?
Yeah, there's a room with some, I don't know, panels and a generator, and they're right outside it.
Why are you guys stopping?
Robots! That's why!
More robots? Oh, Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah! And they've got like a big hook and a gun.
How are we supposed to deal with that?
I don't know. That's why I stopped. Do you think they talk like the other one does? Like if we went close, would they just shoot us? Or could we say we were lost or something and then someone could duck by them? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know if I want to risk it.
Well, if they're anything like the other one... Oh, dear God.
Well, the other one didn't have a gun.
But they still shouldn't just shoot anyone walking up, right?
That's true. They'd have to identify us. But as soon as they found out that we're not the right person...
But would they shoot a bunch of lost kids?
They're robots. They might not know any better. They might just think
That seems
trespasser.
That seems like a liability.
If it's DARPA, I don't think they care.
Well, you got any better ideas?
Well, from what I can see, it looks like they have some sort of night vision attachment. You've got a flashlight. If you shine it in their eyes, you could probably distract them for a while, or at least stop them from being able to see.
Sure, I can, but I think that seems more aggressive than just going and saying, "Hi, we're lost." So if you think they'd shoot us if we did that, I think they'll shoot me if I shine a light in their eyes.
I think we should have multiple plans. Like, if talking doesn't work and they're about to shoot you, try shining it in their eyes. Might buy you a bit of time.
Yeah, because I can run faster than bullets.
If they can't see you, you might have a chance.
Lizzie is looking at the other two to see if they have any ideas.
So we could go for a swim.
We could. We don't know where we'd end up.
Or the robots could go for a swim.
And how would we get back?
Don't know.
Alright, well, I don't know. Maybe if we can get the robots to fall in the water somehow?
I mean, there's a big metal grate there, but...
I mean, we could lift up the grate and we could get them to chase us. The only issue is if they shoot us while chasing us. Alright?
Well, surely they won't shoot kids.
Well, that's what I said, and then Mark said they probably would, because they're DARPA and they don't know any better.
They wouldn't be able to tell that we're kids as robots. To be like, heat signature, doesn't have ID, shoot it.
So I could send a rabbit in there and it would shoot a rabbit.
Well, don't do that.
Was there any rats up above that we could go back and catch?
No.
Well, good news. There aren't any dead animals or rodents around that could tell us that they shoot anything that moves, so we should be able to at least walk into the room. And
I don't think we
perhaps-
could walk into the room.
Well, I think we could, and even talk to them. But
Well,
as
they're
soon
outside
as they...
the room. I don't think we could walk past them into the room.
Well, if you can distract them, maybe the control panel in there has like an off switch for them or something.
I can try. Well, which is better? Ask for directions or shine a light in their face?
You can ask for directions first, and if they start trying to shoot you, shine a light at them and run away.
Fine.
Well, me and Dillon try
I vote
and...
Wayne goes in and tells them he's lost.
I thought I was doing that. And Wayne would have to write it. Do robots read?
I don't know. Alright, you go in and distract him with the light. And I'll follow behind you. And
Wait, am I
I'll
lost
try
or
and-
am I shining a light? I keep getting mixed messages.
We'll shine the light in their eyes and say, hey, I'm a little girl, I'm lost.
Oh no, I'm combining it.
They're robots.
I know.
Try the lost thing first, and if they are like, we don't care, we're gonna shoot you, then you shine the light and run away.
Okay, and what's everyone else doing?
Meanwhile, me and Dillon can try and sneak around and get to the control room.
How are we going to sneak around?
There isn't an around, there's only through. They're on either side of the door.
So what's the plan?
Well,
I don't
was
know, everyone
thinking...
kept telling me to shine a light at them.
I was thinking I could loosen some of the grates here and maybe one of them can fall in. If Wayne plays his music on this side of the grate.
Do robots like music?
No, but they don't
Well,
like...
they might come and inspect the distraction.
Yeah, they don't like intruders.
Okay. Then what?
Well, if you're going to set it up as a trap, you might as well just put the grate and leave it there, but leave it so... just have it off its hinges a little bit, so when they step on it, it falls through, and he falls through, and then that will give me a chance to run by one, the last one, and get on its back, and try and tip it over.
Well, I was thinking, look, they look... I don't think they're really built for someone to run up and try and attack them because they've got guns and they're really, like, they got a lot of armor on them. So I don't think anyone built them thinking that anyone was going to run and try and jump on them. So they look like their center of gravity is really off. If you could get up on it a bit, you could probably tip it over because it's really heavy. I don't think they can balance really well.
Alright, cool. We'll do that then.
But I guess I can still shine a light at it. I don't know.
If it comes at you,
Well, none of them should be coming at me in this plan.
yeah, but well, our plans don't always go according to plan.
Okay, so you're gonna take the grate off the hinges so that if a robot steps on it, it falls through, and Wayne's gonna play music so that they go see what the music is about, and then that's why they fall through, and then Dillon's gonna go tip the other one over,
Yeah, I'm not sure if
and I'm gonna shine a
Let
light
us
at
work.
it. What?
I don't know if the grate is going to be big enough for it to, like, completely fall through. But at least some of it might get stuck.
Okay. So, when do we go? We wait,
For the music.
but then we wait for one to walk by? before we go with the other one?
No, wait for the first one to fall into
Yeah, so it's got to walk
water.
by us, right?
Well, the music
we
will
come-
attract it.
back.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I'll just follow you.
And Mark is going to sneak
Until
up
it starts doing that.
as close as he can without being spotted and start removing some of the bolts in the grate. And it's slimy, slick with water, and kind of a strange algae that's formed on it. And his fingers keep slipping, but eventually he manages to get all of the bolts out. And the grate is just barely resting on its supports, and he's going to tilt it in a way so that if a heavy pressure lands on it, it will fall through.
After Mark moves away a little bit, Wayne will turn his Walkman up, set it on stereo or whatever you would call it, the mode that starts playing from the speakers. Summer of '69 starts playing, and he will put it, or will not put it, he will throw it next to the grate.
Okay. All right. So, as Summer of '69 starts to blast as much as it can down the tunnel, the robots notice that he's got his first real six string.
The thumping of them walking towards actually loosens the grate, and it falls into the water before they arrive. And they are moving faster than Mark kind of anticipated, so he's still fairly close to the grate. They see him and start shooting at him. And in order to take cover, Mark jumps forward and jumps into the grate. Well, he saw that the grate fell through, and he is suddenly coming under fire from this robot, and he realizes he has no cover. And there's a hole in the ground, so he's going to jump into it. And although it was intentional, it wasn't part of the plan.
That was quite the assumption on the children's part that only one robot would investigate, but hey.
I thought that right at the
The
start.
whole plan kind of banked on... oh, I'm sure only one of them will go see what's up.
Dillon thought there would be two coming.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, now what's happening is they're both advancing, shooting, and Mark's just jumped into the water.
Huh.
Lizzie's just got Mark multiple times told her if they start shooting, try shining your flashlight in their eyes. So she's just waving a flashlight around in their faces because she doesn't know what else to do.
Which has definitely
So,
attracted their attention.
Dillon's taken off at breakneck speed towards them while they're firing.
And bullets are flying and ricocheting off the walls, and he's just sort of like going, what the heck am I doing? I am running into gunfire, and the bullets were going towards Mark at the start, but he's now swan dived into the freaking water.
And it's a weird effect
And,
for you now because Lizzie's panic-stricken shine the torch in their faces. It's on and off them.
It's like a strobe
It's
effect.
now like a disco strobe effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So everything's
so
got
all-
that weird jerky motion to
So
it.
everything's jerking.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So Lizzie from the back sees Dillon. He's running, and then the next one he's in the air, and then the next one he's sort of coming down, and then what Dillon didn't see was that when Mark did his beautiful alleged swan dive into the water, wasn't that beautiful. It was actually quite messy, and water went and sprayed up everywhere. So when Dillon landed, he slipped, and he's sliding down the corridor towards the things, but they're shooting over the top of him, and all he sees is flash, 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 and then this light up above him, just like a lighthouse light, right? And he slides under through the middle of one of them, and through its legs, and he's like staring up at the groin of this robot that's firing, and the shell casings are falling down all around him, and one strikes him on the face and sort of burns him a little bit, and so he reaches up and he grabs up and pulls himself up in more fear than anything, and he just stops thinking and climbs as high as he can and rocks back with his hands on the neck of the one that he's on, which has just realized that there's something on him, and it sort of turns while it's still firing. The other one in front of him gets fully blasted by the machine gun of the one that Dillon is on the back of, and Dillon's frantically trying to pull this thing back, and as he does, and the other one falls down, still firing its gun down into the water, and he sees a flash as Mark's face in the water is going underneath, and the machine gun's just down into the water. And it's Mark's face just staring at abject horror, going, there's a machine gun firing down at me, and the other one stops firing, and Dillon manages to get so far back on the other one that because the corridor was facing in a downwards direction towards the room, the way that it's turned, he's swung around in front and pulled it down almost on top of him, with the machine gun still firing, and the gun reflects off the floor of the corridor and crashes up next to its head, and Dillon's struggling with its arm, and while the machine gun's still firing, Dillon's hands are burning on the barrel, and manages to drag the barrel, still flashing. Dillon's blind and literally deaf at the moment, until he hears as the bullets rip into the robot's head. And Dillon collapses underneath it, and so they're both laying there appearing to be dead.
I mean, I would have tried to think of a way to contribute more, but I was enjoying that too much.
Oh,
I was waiting to see if
I think that's good.
how far you were going to come.
Your flashlight.
And he sees Mark drifting by under, pulling the gun. Oh, good. Mark's not there. He can shoot through the. He sees Mark drifting on the tide. Oh no! Mark's trying to swim back up.
And except for the sound in Dillon's ears is just his ring.
Where is he? Is he has he moved down further in this?
Yeah, he's clinging onto the bottom of the grate in the room. So you can see his fingers coming up through the grate, trying to cling on as the current's pulling him.
Wayne will try to save Mark.
And Lizzie will go try and see if Dillon's trapped under this robot? Because he said he collapsed
Dillon is
underneath it?
trapped.
Okay, Lizzie's trying
Yeah.
to pull Dillon out from under the robot since she's seen Wayne run over to try and deal with
Yeah, you see,
Mark being
you
trapped
see
under
Wayne
a grate.
running along next to the grate, trying to keep up with where Mark is now and work out where he's at. And you see him go into the room and hear a grate opening.
So yeah, Lizzie goes to sort of try and extricate Dillon from robot debris.
And he sort of wiggles out, and he's got his hands out, and they're obviously burnt, and some skin's missing.
If the hands are obviously burned, she will grab his wrists and try and pull so as to not hurt the hands.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm glad it's okay.
He pulls himself out. He's like, ow! And he's looking down at his hands.
And Lizzie's just still kind of looking pretty shocked about the whole thing. Huh.
And he's blinking
Should
like
you...
like he's trying to flush his eyes or something. He does.
If you put your hands in the water, that might help.
What?
Your hands look burned. Put them in the water.
What about paper?
She's gonna grab his wrists and put his hands in the water.
Okay. And Dillon's confused at first. Yeah, and so he's leaving his hands in the water. And I guess Dillon will follow, but with his hands just out, just like, what the heck?
Just
am I gonna
like
do?
this? Just
Yeah.
out? Okay.
And he's still breathing heavily, because that was a lot of hard work.
He probably would have pulled Mark out, and after he saw that he was fine, he would look around the room.
It is lit from one neon above in a steel cage. There is 3 consoles, and it is the consoles face back the direction you came, and to your right is a great big transformer which is humming.
Yeah, he's kind of doubled over, coughing up water, and he's visually shaking. You're not quite sure if it's from the colds of the water or from the experience. And he's kind of looking around, panicked, because he's not sure where the robots are.
And Lizzie's gonna walk into the room.
What happened?
You fell in the water and the robots were shooting and Dillon jumped on them and now they're dead and his hands are burned.
Is he a superhero?
What?
I don't know, but
He
can't
jumped
hear
on
anything.
them and his hands burned, and now the robots are dead? Did he, shoot lava out of his hands or something?
No.
What are you guys saying?
Yeah, he can't hear anything. It was really loud, but he was really close to it, so... That's why we're here, to turn off the the gravitron?
Right. Yeah. I knew that. What?
All right, we're done. We defeated the robots. Time to go. We're like, that's not why we're here.
Okay. What? Emily's gonna get sick of
Oh,
that.
that was Lizzie. Mark, do you know how to turn any of this off?
I can have a look. Let's see here. Alright, I think if I flip this lever, gotta make sure I press these buttons in this order. Alright, I think that'll do it. And he flips the last lever, and there's... you can tell me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but there's a sound of something large kind of winding down, and the hum of electricity that we probably didn't notice just because it was always there, but now that it's gone, it's obvious that there was a hum that is no longer there.
And all the lights have gone out. You are in pure pitch darkness,
Except for
which
Lizzie's
has now
flashlight.
become very important.
We'd better go back up and see if they're okay. Let's go now.
Yeah, let's go.
What happened to all the lights?
Lizzie's heading out very quickly.
Are we going? Oh, we're going. Okay.
I was going to say, is someone going to grab Dillon? But I guess he's following.
Like,
Can't hear, so
'Cause I'm
how's
the
that
bat.
going to work? All right, Lizzie's sort of rushing back to the ladder, not so much taking time to deal with cobwebs or anything, just quickly going.
Oh, wait a minute. We forgot Dillon.
that Dillon can't climb because his hands are all burnt.
Well,
But he can use his arms. He takes his time.
and Lizzie's standing at the top of the ladder waiting for everyone else to get out. She's not just rushing off to check. She's slowed down a lot since getting back out of the tunnel. Not in a huge rush.
Mark gets out as well and wrings out his shirt.
And when Dillon gets out, he just collapses and on the ground, holding his hands in the air. And he's just staring at the sky.
Is he alive? You can say it's Mark.
What?
You alive there, Dillon?
He's alive. If he wasn't alive, his arms wouldn't be up like that.
Oh man, let's not do that again.
Wasn't planning on it, I don't think.
You don't wink?
What?
What? You want a drink?
She just rolls her eyes at him. And turns around, and if everyone's out of the tunnel, she is going to start heading back to the clearing to see what effect this has had.
And all the adults have left.
They're not there. None of them are left.
None of them are
there
there.
at all. Wow, we didn't take long to get out of there. So they ran away? I guess they all left.
Let's go back to town and make sure.
Well, you know that robot said that the company ID code belonged to Lena Dillon?
Yeah?
I think she was there.
You saw her?
When I was trying to find my mom and I was looking at all the people standing around the sphere, I think she was there.
Was she standing around like the people were?
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to her. Maybe she knows what happened.
DARPA didn't even know where she was, 'cause we tried to find her when we were looking for the stuff about the pigeons, and it said her location was unknown. So she can't have just been working like normal. I don't know if we could find her to talk to her. Well, I'm gonna go home.
That's a good idea.
Although maybe we'd better make sure Dillon gets home first.
Also a good idea.
On the news, you have Dick Lookback reporting from the field. So you can see the field. There is no one there, and there's nothing in it. And it's like, hi, I am Dick Lookback, and I'm in the field. There was a really unusual situation out here in Boulder City. A weird case of Albanian tropical algae flu has been reported in the area, which gave delusions to many of the townsfolk, and they congregated here. It was only when DARPA was able to administer special medical attention through some of their advanced technology, of which you can see the impression of behind me, was able to save them from a fate worse than death. Back to the office.
Mark smacks the top of the TV when he hears the news that DARPA has claimed that they were the ones who saved everyone. And his brother Charlie notices. What are you doing, brother? The DARPA people are just getting on my nerves, that's all. Don't worry about it. Come on, let's watch something else. He changes the channel and continues watching TV with his brother. His parents have been oddly quiet tonight, and the night since the incidents in the woods. They kind of feel like a lot of their squabbles have less meaning after the incident. Like, something like that can happen, like they're still not acknowledging it, but there's some sort of like silent shared understanding between the two of them, and they seem to be having not getting along better, but fighting less openly.
Wayne's playing his guitar out back in his shed when he hears his neighbor, the record shop owner, compliment him. He comes out. Maybe he trades pics with him. Just a small moment of them acknowledging each other.
When Lizzie gets home after making sure that Dillon can get home and doesn't just wander off in a daze of being unable to hear, it's very unusual that her mom's already there, because usually she gets home after school and her mom doesn't get home till late. So It's very strange, and something else strange is that night they have a family dinner with everybody eating at the table at the same time, rather than just finding some sort of food at whatever time works best for them. And she does not at all try to bring up any of the strangeness because she knows that there is absolutely no point. But she will hug her mom and tell her she's glad that she's not sick anymore.
And Dillon's laying down in the lounge room with there's Atari video game cartridges laying around on the floor, and he's got his hands all bandaged up, and Jeeves, the butler, comes in. I've got your soup here, Master Dillon. Thanks, Jeeves. Did you get me a straw this time? Oh, sorry, Master. Oh, sorry, Master Dillon. I'll go get you a straw. Damn you, Master Jeeves. Damn you.
Did you remember my name this time, Jeeves?
Do you remember your own?
and Dillon goes back to watching Max Headroom.
Good choice.
On the TV. I love that show.
Tales from the Loop is produced by Free League, starring SPG as Wayne, Raveninsane as Dillon, Shadow as Mark, Emily as Lizzie, and Ghost as the Storyteller. Sound and music by Sirenscape and Epidemic. This has been a Crit Fail production. Thanks for listening.
Coming this summer, Arachnophobia, the musical.
Spider?
Multiple?
Oh.
Crawling out from behind a picture frame. Oh my goodness, please go away. Shoo, go somewhere else. Don't be here. Well, there's no dealing. Just gonna have to ignore it.
There is no dealing.
'Cause I'm not moving it. There's no dealing.